Once upon a time in Nigeria, before the British arrived, the land was a tapestry of diverse cultures and thriving civilizations. It was a time when the people of Nigeria were the masters of their own destinies, shaping their world with ingenuity and creativity. Okay folks, gather around for a history lesson, Nigerian style. Imagine sitting under the shade of a grand baobab tree, listening to the elders recount tales of heroism, wisdom, and the origins of their people. This was how history was passed down, through the vibrant oral traditions that kept the spirit of the past alive. Forget boring textbooks. We're talking ancient civilizations, epic stories, and maybe a little bit of weight, really, thrown in for good measure. These stories were not just entertainment, they were the lifeblood of the community, teaching lessons, preserving heritage, and instilling a sense of identity. Long before the British decided to pop in for a cup of tea and a spot of colonization, Nigeria was buzzing with activity. Markets were the heart of social and economic life, where traders from different regions exchanged goods, ideas, and cultures. Villages thrived with agricultural practices that sustained entire communities. We're talking millennia ago, people. The land was dotted with ancient ruins that spoke of sophisticated societies and architectural prowess. These were not just random settlements, they were well-planned cities with intricate designs and advanced infrastructure. The Nok culture, for example, was chilling in the northern region around 1000 BCE. They were pioneers in iron smelting and terracotta sculpture, creating art that still captivates the world today. Their works were not just artistic expressions, but also held religious and cultural significance. They were like the Beyoncé of terracotta sculptures, seriously impressive stuff. Each piece was meticulously crafted, reflecting the high level of skill and creativity that defined the Nok people. Their art was a testament to their sophisticated understanding of human and animal forms. Down south you had the Igbo UKW folks known for their bronze casting skills. Their metalwork was so advanced that it left archaeologists scratching their heads, wondering how such intricate designs were possible in that era. Picture this. It's 900 AD, and they're already making metal objects so intricate, they'd put your grandma's china collection to shame. These artifacts were not just functional, they were masterpieces of art, showcasing the Igbo Ukwu's exceptional craftsmanship and aesthetic sensibilities. And let's not forget the Yoruba kingdoms, with Ile-Ife considered their spiritual and cultural heartland. This ancient city was a hub of political, religious, and artistic activities, where the Yoruba people developed their rich traditions and complex societal structures. Legend has it that Oduduwa, the first Yoruba king, literally descended from heaven. This mythological figure is central to Yoruba identity, symbolizing the divine origin of their kingship and the sacred nature of their leadership. Talk about making an entrance. Oduduwa's descent is celebrated in various festivals and rituals, reinforcing the connection between the Yoruba people and their divine heritage. These ceremonies are a vibrant display of Yoruba culture filled with music, dance, and elaborate costumes. So yeah, Nigeria was far from a blank slate when the Europeans showed up. It was a land of ancient civilizations, each with its own unique contributions to the tapestry of human history. The arrival of Europeans marked a new chapter, but it was built on the rich and diverse foundations laid by the indigenous peoples. It was a place of vibrant cultures, complex social structures, and artistic innovation. From the rhythmic beats of traditional dances to the intricate designs of local artisans, Nigeria was a land of creativity and cultural expression. Basically, they were already killing it before colonialism decided to crash the party. The legacy of these ancient civilizations continues to inspire and influence modern Nigeria, reminding us of a time when the land was a beacon of cultural and artistic brilliance. Fast forward a few centuries, and Nigeria's landscape is dotted with powerful kingdoms. These weren't just any kingdoms, they were vibrant, complex societies with rich histories and cultures that have left an indelible mark on the region. From the dense forests of the south to the arid lands of the north, each kingdom had its own unique story to tell. Think Game of Thrones, but with less incest and more incredibly crafted bronze plaques. These plaques weren't just decorative, they were historical records, capturing the essence of the times and the people who lived through them. The artistry and craftsmanship involved were nothing short of extraordinary. The Benin Empire, centered in the south, was known for its military might and artistic prowess. Their warriors were fierce, their strategies cunning, and their influence vast. The empire's reach extended far beyond its borders, impacting neighboring regions and shaping the course of history in West Africa. Their bronze sculptures, absolutely legendary. These weren't just pieces of art, they were symbols of power, status, and religious significance. Each sculpture told a story, whether it was of a revered ancestor, a victorious battle, or a significant event in the empire's history. Sadly, a lot of these treasures were looted during a little kerfuffle with the British in the late 19th century. This kerfuffle was actually the British punitive expedition of 1897, which resulted in the sacking of Benin City and the theft of countless artifacts. These artifacts now reside in museums and private collections around the world, far from their place of origin. We'll get to that whole mess later. For now, let's focus on the incredible legacy these kingdoms left behind. Their stories are a testament to the resilience and creativity of the people who built and sustained them. Up north, the Islamic Sokoto Caliphate held sway, a vast empire founded in the 19th century. This caliphate wasn't just a political entity, it was a center of Islamic learning and culture. Scholars from all over the region came to study and teach, making it a hub of intellectual activity. They were all about Islamic scholarship and, you guessed it, more impressive architecture. The mosques they built were not only places of worship but also architectural marvels, showcasing intricate designs and advanced engineering techniques. Imagine mosques so grand they'd make your jaw drop. These structures were designed to inspire awe and reverence, reflecting the spiritual and cultural values of the society that built them. And let's not forget the Oyo Empire in the west, known for its cavalry and skilled administration. The Oyo cavalry was legendary, feared by enemies and respected by allies. Their administrative system was equally impressive, with a complex bureaucracy that managed everything from trade to justice. These guys were organized, efficient, and definitely not afraid to throw their weight around. Their military formations were a sight to behold, and their ability to maintain order and stability within their empire was a testament to their administrative prowess. So, you see, pre-colonial Nigeria was a tapestry of kingdoms, each with its own distinct culture, political system, and occasionally a healthy dose of drama. These kingdoms interacted with each other in various ways through trade, alliances, and sometimes conflict, creating a dynamic and ever-changing landscape. It was a time of powerful rulers, skilled artisans, and enough intrigue to make a soap opera writer blush. The rulers were not just political leaders but also patrons of the arts, supporting craftsmen and artists who produced works of incredible beauty and significance. Buckle up, folks, because things are about to get interesting. As we delve deeper into the history of these kingdoms, we'll uncover stories of heroism, betrayal, innovation, and resilience. The legacy of these ancient societies continues to influence modern Nigeria, shaping its culture, politics, and identity in profound ways. The British Empire. Famous for their tea, their stiff upper lips, and, oh yeah, colonizing a good chunk of the world. Their influence stretched far and wide, leaving an indelible mark on many regions, for better or worse. They brought with them their customs, their governance, and their economic ambitions, often at the expense of the local populations. Nigeria, unfortunately, became one of their projects. This West African nation, rich in culture and resources, found itself under the British thumb. The British saw Nigeria as a land of opportunity, ripe for exploitation and control. It all started subtly, with traders arriving on the coast looking for spices, ivory, and tragically human beings. These early interactions set the stage for a more insidious form of control. The trade in goods soon gave way to the trade in people, as the demand for slaves grew. The transatlantic slave trade, a dark chapter in human history, cast a long shadow over the region. Millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homes, shipped across the ocean in horrific conditions, and sold into slavery. This brutal practice decimated communities and left a legacy of trauma and disruption. Fast forward to the 19th century, and the British, with their knack for understatement, decided they wanted to formalize their control. They established colonial administrations, built infrastructure to serve their needs, and imposed their laws and customs on the Nigerian people. Cue the Berlin Conference of 1884, where European powers carved up Africa like a birthday cake, with little regard for the people who actually lived there. Rude, right? This arbitrary division of territories ignored ethnic, cultural, and linguistic boundaries, sowing seeds of conflict that would last for generations. And so began British rule in Nigeria, a period marked by economic exploitation, political manipulation, and a whole lot of cultural misunderstandings. The British imposed taxes, extracted resources, and used local labor to build their empire, often with little regard for the well-being of the Nigerian people. Imagine trying to explain the rules of cricket to someone who's never seen a blade of grass longer than an inch. The British brought their sports, their education system, and their way of life, often expecting the locals to adapt without question. This led to many humorous and awkward situations, as two very different cultures tried to coexist. It was that level of awkward. The British often failed to understand or respect local customs and traditions, leading to a lot of friction and resentment. These cultural clashes were a daily reality for both the colonizers and the colonized, but hey, it wasn't all bad, right? The British did bring some infrastructure improvements like railroads, which facilitated trade and movement. They also introduced tea, which became a popular beverage in Nigeria, blending with local customs and tastes. They did bring railroads and tea after all. These contributions, while often self-serving, did leave a lasting impact on the country. The railroads connected different regions, fostering economic growth and development. Okay, maybe that's a bit of a stretch. The benefits of British rule were often outweighed by the costs. The exploitation of resources, the imposition of foreign rule, and the cultural disruptions left deep scars on Nigerian society. The truth is, British rule had a profound and often devastating impact on Nigeria, shaping its economy, politics, and society for generations to come. The legacy of colonialism is complex, with both positive and negative aspects, but the overall effect was one of domination and control. And spoiler alert, it wasn't pretty. The exploitation and oppression left a legacy of poverty, conflict, and underdevelopment that Nigeria is still grappling with today. The story of British rule in Nigeria is a cautionary tale of the dangers of imperialism and the lasting impact of colonialism.